happy to introduce Pete Ring, FreeFlight Systems, obviously a leader in the there we go, ADSB segment. Pete, what's new?
So for this show, what we're really talking about is we take the existing ADSB backbone that we have in place today, and we start expanding out and going into additional markets than we've currently been in. We've done a little bit more this year with rotorcraft. We're doing a little bit more as we start to go up market with the basis for the ADSB boxes with both Ranger and our SBAS GNSS GPS position sources as we start to go up into the business class of aircraft and into the commercial class of aircraft. Specifically for this show, starting last week, we started a partnership with Becker Avionics, where we're going to be offering great folks, great products, really good products. It's a DO260B compatible, TCAS-2 capable diversity transponder that we're going to be bringing to the market here in the United States for them. Couple that with our 1203C, and it's an ideal low-cost solution for that business class and up sort of marketplace. There really doesn't have a economical solution today. You know, everything in that category right now, if you go with the manufacturer options, you're really 6 figures and up for an ADSB upgrade, and that's not really terribly advantageous to anybody. So we can do it with the equipment. The equipment's going to run about $30,000 for the GPS, the transponder. We can add the capabilities of ADSB in also to the aircraft, and what we've discovered is a lot of folks actually want that. It's a cool feature for them. And they don't necessarily want it on the displays that they have there. They want it on their iPads. Because even, as we move up into that higher market, everybody's still flying with iPads in that marketplace, and every day more and more are flying with them. So the ability to be able to display that data wirelessly into a, for the lack of a better term, a legacy aircraft. By legacy, what's a legacy aircraft? Something that was built before 2005 in today's avionics generation. So to be able to bring those sorts of capabilities to that marketplace is a real good thing for us and for the customers.
One of the other things FreeFlight's known for, of course, is radar altimeters. What's happening in that market right now for you?
So it's kind of an exciting time for us. We actually just shipped our 3,500th system for radar altimeters lifetime to date. It's a big time for radar altimeters right now. We've got a mandate that's pending for all operators in the United States that are either airborne EMS operators or they're operating at a Part 135 in the rotorcraft marketplace. So if you're a 135 operator, charter operator, or you're an airborne EMS operator, you have to be equipped with a radar altimeter by late April. And the FAA has said that they're not going to make any additional exceptions for anybody that hasn't equipped yet. So it's a great system. We can interface with anybody that has a display that could display that. If they don't have that, we offer the display as well to give them a complete solution.
Well, it's quite a product line, to say the least. Where do you see yourself going forward, especially in light of, one, the 2020 mandate? I mean, we're planning now for the next couple of years, but the big question is, what do we do afterwards?
That's a good question, and there's a lot of things that we could do afterwards. The thing that we're working on right now that's going to happen, hopefully for us here right before 2020, which is kind of ideal timing, we're working on the replacement for our 2101, which is the old Trimble navigation system that anyone that's flown an airplane in the last 30 years has probably seen one or come across one or a version thereof of it.
All reliable.
Yeah, it's still reliable. You'd be surprised. We still sell quite a few of those systems today, which is mind-boggling to me because it is such a legacy product, if you will. But
there's definitely an ain't broke, don't fix it mentality in this business.
Yeah, and I love that. So we're working on the replacement for that. It's the 2301. It'll be a full FMS, SBAS GNSS capable unit. Okay. It'll have a much bigger display. It'll be much more modern, but at the same time, it'll still fit in the same form factor. So it'll be a form factor replacement for the 2101. Form factor replacement for form factor functionality. If you want to upgrade to the LPV capabilities of it, or add some of the potential future ADSB functionality that it'll have, there will be some wiring change behind that, but it's still the same form factor for it to fit into where the 2101s are. And that's a huge install base out there today.
I've been putting a number of the manufacturers on the spot today with a simple question that I've had a lot of fun with the answers. And that's basically this: to the community that we reach, which is, sport aviation, general aviation, commercial, military, aerospace, you name it. What do people out there generally do not know about free flight that they need to know right now?
So what they need to know that they don't know is we've actually been around for 25 years plus. You know, we've got our history.
Drinking age.
Yeah, we're the legal drinking age. Yeah, exactly. With our heritage through Trimble Aviation and Terra Products, in 2008 the company was refocused with our current level of ownership to be focused on this next gen marketplace. So we're not a you know, sort of a one-trick pony where we have one product line that we're working on. We have a whole bunch of different things, and we're not somebody that's, you know, just here for the moment. You know, we've been around for a long time. We're going to continue to be around for a long time, which means that if you buy our products, we're going to be here in the future to help support them and keep you flying way beyond any mandates that are currently pending.
As a major player in the ADSB mindset right now, we've watched a growing need for people to get real about 2020, that we're not likely, well, snowball's chance in hell is the way I've heard it put, to get any extensions from the FAA on January 1, 2020. Why do you see this delay taking place? Why are people holding back? Because it's not going to get cheaper, it's not going to get easier, and there's going to be a heck of a wait if you're waiting into 2019.
There is still a pretty solid belief out there that, you know, amongst the operators and the pilots out there that are flying with this equipment, that it actually will get cheaper. And you know, my
how? Can we make them out of cardboard? I mean,
my economics teacher in college would be very proud of me by saying that in all of my studies, when supply goes up, or excuse me, when demand goes up, prices usually follow. So the fact that it's getting cheaper, I don't think it's getting any cheaper. I think if anything, we've started to see incremental price increases. A little bit on the product side, but where you're going to see it is on the installation side. You know, that guy that's, you know, any of these shops, these avionics shops that are doing these installations, these guys are booked out 3-4 months right now, and we're, what, 700 days ahead of the mandate right now? So that's only going to get worse. And if you have to fly your aircraft, if it's a revenue generating aircraft or if it's helping you generate revenue, you have to fly your aircraft, and you're going to be that guy that's wanting to spend that extra money to get ahead of that line. Right. And that's really, you know, we're starting to see that in some places.
And if you haven't done it by now, be prepared for a rude awakening.
Yep.
My goodness. So if somebody decides to get serious right now, what advice do you give to them to not only get to the head of the line, but make sure it gets done right?
So you gotta ask yourself some basic questions when you're looking at ADSB and equipping with ADSB. You have to understand what your flight profile is today, how you fly today, and how you're planning on flying the aircraft in the future, and making sure you find a solution that is best equipped for that flight profile and for where you want to go with the aircraft, whether it's outside the country, you know, certain altitudes and so forth. Be familiar with all the manufacturers that are out there, and also take a moment to consider what sort of long-term support you're actually going to have down the road after this mandate comes, and you're stuck with this equipment that you need in order to fly in the airspace. Do your homework, do your research. There's plenty of great services out there that help you with that. We've got on our website, we've got the ATSB University. If you're still trying to understand how the technology works,
good information there.
You can watch it. And, you know, it's amazing. I had those videos have been out 4 years or so now, and I had somebody come up to me this week that said, you know, I had to give a seminar, and I watched your videos, and they helped me get prepared to teach this seminar to somebody else. I said, I took a whole bunch of photos of it. I said, that's probably a copyright infringement, but we'll allow it this one time. But there's plenty of good information. I know a lot of the manufacturers offer some sort of tutorial that helps you through the technology of it, and also the solutions that are available to you. So do your homework.
There you go. And finally, Pete, how can people get more information on FreeFlight Systems right now?
Well, they can do a couple different ways. You can go to visit our main website, which is freeflightsystems.com. We also have a website that is dedicated specifically towards our 978 ADSB product lines, which is equipit2020.com, a little bit of a stolen branding there from our friends in Washington, D.C. And on there you can find a dedicated website that's focused for our 978 technologies. But our primary website, freeflightsystems.com, will get you all the information you possibly need. And all of our direct contact information is on there as well if you want to speak to us directly.
Super. Pete, as always, you're a good interview. We sure appreciate your time as we're getting ready to close out Day 3 of AEA 2017, the 60th Annual AEA Convention and Trade Show.
Aero-News Network's coverage of the 60th Annual AEA International Convention and Trade Show, live from New Orleans, is brought to you in part by the following sponsors.
Have you ever wanted big glass in your cockpit but didn't have the space? Now with Avidyne's IFD series touchscreen GPS navigators and our new IFD 100 iPad app, having big glass in your cockpit is finally within reach.
Southeast Aerospace teamed up with Garmin International, Gables Engineering, and Peregrine Avionics to bring the most cost-effective and flexible ATSB solution to the business aviation community. Our Part 25 AML STC is available for non-TCAS 2 Beechjet, Citation, Hawker, Learjet, and Falcon Jet. Visit seaerospace.com for more details.